All right, welcome back, Black Magic TV. And today we have uh, a notorious knucklehead, someone I've known since they were a wee child of the tender age of about 12. Uh, my childhood neighbor grew up right around the corner from me,
Yeah.
Mr. Clint Herdman.
Hey, good to be here.
Thanks for coming over, Clint. Clint is a tattoo artist now. He started off as a young child telling me about his dreams of having graphic design businesses and t-shirt companies.
Oh
And then
man.
the next thing I know, boom, he's got a tattoo thing going. He's also a car guy.
Yeah.
So I guess tell them where you grew up at, Clint.
Over in Kansas City, Kansas, right behind like Washington High School, and then Bonner.
And then Bonner.
My high school years, and that's where I met you.
I guess technically you lived
Edwardsville.
Edwardsville,
Yeah.
but which is weird because where we lived was Bonner. But
I
then
was
across
Edwardsville.
the street from my parents' house, like diagonally, is
Mhm.
KCK. It's really weird. So it's like all three of the cities, but it really doesn't matter because with the unified government, it's just all basically one giant city now.
USD, what, 500?
Yeah, we were what? What was our school district? 204?
That
Is
sounds
that right?
Yeah, that sounds
The
right.
old Bonner Springs High, couple alumni. I did a little jail time with Clint's brother at one point.
Yeah.
Also notorious. Clint comes from a long line of knuckleheads.
I guess so.
uh, when did you start tattooing, Clint?
uh, 2011 maybe or 12. I think
2012. I think that's probably about right.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's been like 11 years now, I think. Coming up on
Nice.
12.
That's a pretty deep run.
It's been cool so far.
What were you doing before that?
Like roofing,
Just whatever
construction,
whatever shit you could
working
get.
at the Chateau Avalon.
The chateau. Is that yeah? Because your pops was a maintenance guy.
At the Legends.
At the
yeah.
Legends,
He got
yeah.
me that gig.
It's real weird because they built a racetrack where Clint and I grew up at, and then our parents' homes were like on the cusp of being sucked up by where the racetrack was going, so we didn't leave then. But then randomly years later, their house sold.
Yeah, they did that stuff across the street. Then they started, I guess, a couple years ago where we used to live.
Right, and then
Leveling
now
stuff.
they've basically drove people out of their homes, and Clint's childhood home is still just sitting there untouched, except for the grass is really tall and the driveway is
It's gone.
covered
The
up.
driveway's gone.
Yeah,
now.
the driveway's gone now, but the house and the garage are still there. It's the
Still,
weirdest thing. Exactly how the day they left it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's a real wild trip. Where did you? What got? Obviously, I know you were always into art and stuff from when we were younger, but what made you go? Oh, I want to start tattooing.
Well, I got tattooed, is what kind of happened.
Yeah.
And then I went over to China and got like a big tattoo, and I thought it was just the coolest thing ever. Then I came here to get it finished at Timeless, which is where I apprenticed at, and then I just started getting tattooed, hanging out, and then they offered me a job to like push a broom, you know? So
Yeah.
I took it.
Where's Timeless at?
That crazy intersection like Westport Road and Southwest Trafficway.
That's right. That's right. Because
Yeah.
that place was pretty new, or has it been there a long time?
It's not there anymore.
Right.
It was, I don't know, like 2008 to...
Yeah. Okay. So
When
I
I
would have been.
started
I think a lot of
tattooing.
those guys hung out at the bar, right? Because like when I bounced, you used to always be at the Riot Room
Yeah,
when I was working there.
that was everybody's spot to go.
Right. Right. That was literally the spot to go. Dude, you went to China?
Yeah.
I think I know this, but maybe I don't know this.
Yeah, it was like an internship with this little company. And then, I was like 18 and just
Doing
a
what?
young
Just-
knucklehead. It was like for Hustler Lingerie.
Okay.
Yeah, we met him at Ozfest. Or my mom did, 'cause she worked at the Waffle House.
Right.
And they just loved her. And she's like, come over, ride dirt bikes with us. And they're like from New York, and they've never done anything like that. So
Right.
we showed them a good time. We got like backstage, all the cool tickets, and saw everything for free. And
Yeah.
they offered me a little gig, and I took it.
That's sick.
Yeah,
So you just went to China,
Hong Kong.
straight up
Yeah,
communist China,
it was.
and did it
It
up.
was different.
Oh yeah, I'm
Culture
sure. It was
shock
like,
for sure.
Yeah.
Like
How-
you can't do anything that you like. If you could get a ticket for spitting on the sidewalk out there.
Right. Like here's a young hood rat let loose in the streets of China.
You could drink there too, and I wasn't really good at drinking yet. Still am not very good at it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
How long were you in China for?
Like a little over a month.
That's cool though.
It
That's
was
a free trip to.
I saw a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah. And then you got tattooed. Did you just get like the line work done on it? Or?
And some of the shading. It was at a tribal shop.
Okay.
Like, like the tattoo brand Tribal. It was one of their shops.
Okay.
This dude just like pinned it straight on, just looking at a picture. And I was like, this shit's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. But I went around to like a bunch of different shops. The guys showed me around. Like I went to the shop where David Beckham got tattooed at. They had a big old picture of it on the wall. Like this tattoo guy tattooed David Beckham.
That's crazy.
I didn't go there though.
I just heard somebody talk about David Beckham the other day, and they're like, I thought he was like the greatest soccer player in the world. And this other dude's like, no, he wasn't that great. It's just everyone knew him for some reason.
Yeah.
Probably because he married a Spice Girl. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with all that. People are nuts about soccer, dude. It's wild.
It's not my thing.
I'll
watch it, but
I won't even do that. I can barely watch automobile racing, and I love cars. So like to get me to watch, I mean, I might go to a soccer game, but I would never. You know what I mean?
I'm not a fan.
Yeah. So you go to China, you come back, and then at what age did you start the apprenticeship?
Oh, I was like 19.
You were 19. So
Yeah.
so you didn't have long of like moseying around
No,
doing
maybe
stuff.
20, but
Right.
probably 19, almost 20.
Before you were old enough to drink in America, you were working at the tattoo shop.
Yeah,
How long did it take for you to get?
a while. I had
Through
I had a long apprenticeship. It
Yeah.
was like 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, dude, now it seems like, but like 10 years ago, everything was different, I'm sure, than it is now. And like now you see some people where like they just get zoomed right through,
Yeah,
what I
I know
mean?
it's kind of upsetting, but what are you gonna do?
I think
Different
most
times.
people like there's probably guys who did just as long or longer, really. You know what I mean?
Right.
That-
I was like the last of the old school apprenticeships. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I never got like beat or anything, but
Yeah,
I got hazed a lot.
yeah. I
doing
mean, that's-
silly things, but
Yeah, that comes with anything, dude. Like I used to
Yeah.
make people when I worked at like if I'm working somewhere and they're like, oh hey, this new guy, he doesn't know anything. Like show him. It's like first thing I tell people is like go clean the bathroom. And they're like,
Yeah.
well, why are we cleaning the bathroom? It's like, well, if you can't clean the bathroom, then how can I let you clean? How can I let you touch like a bajillion-dollar car and clean it if like
Right.
we're got $500,000 cars that we're building for people. Like people are spending that up to that much money, right? Building these old cars sometimes. It's like, how can I let you touch that if like
yeah,
you can't clean the toilet?
You got to present
Dude,
that.
I would they would hate it because I go, yeah, well, yep, do it again.
Yeah.
What? Not good enough, bro. Like do it again. Like,
Yeah, that was
make
one
it
thing.
perfect. Like
Just start with the bathroom. You know what I mean? And then maybe clean some glass or take the trash
Right.
out.
yeah, yeah, and then you start like.
Then you
cleaning
get good
needles,
at that.
Then you're setting up stations. Then you're tearing down. Then you're building needles.
One step at a time.
One step
yeah.
at a time.
Yeah,
and that's like a
build
lost
needles.
art. There's like things that's not even really a thing anymore in most tattoo shops
Mm-mm.
because it became cheaper to buy them, right? Like
It is, yeah.
recycle them But yeah, so you came from a lineage where you still cleaned the needles and had to use the thing to sanitize.
Oh yeah,
everything.
the ultrasonic scrubbing tubes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Good
needles
God.
are single use though.
right.
But yeah,
people
building
use-
them, you're like you can use maybe one out of like 5.
Yeah.
because you're just like, okay, it's got to be just right.
Right. And now it's just like, yeah, just buy
I haven't
this.
done it for a long time. It's just
Oh, I
easier
don't
to
think
buy them,
anybody
you know.
does. Well,
But-
now Harold has one of those like electric tattoo guns, the wireless ones.
Oh yeah, with the little battery pack. with
Yeah,
the
and that thing
cartridges.
has like a cartridge that you spin on.
Yeah,
that
you can
dude-
use the same machine for everything.
Yeah, boom, 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 boom. Just it seems.
It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people like it, and some people don't. But after like getting tattooed by it, I was like, oh, like
I see why.
I see why. It's quieter. It like does the same job.
It's a lot lighter too on your hand.
Well, Harold likes it because he can ride his motorcycle to an out of town convention. He told me, and all he needs to do is because he's like heavy. He does whatever, right? But his like
he does a lot of black and gray.
Well, he's known for that, but he does a lot of like that's what's he's like a tattooer. You know what I mean? Like he'll do whatever.
He does tattoos.
He does tattoos. And like, because here I am, I have no, this is the only thing that's black and gray, and that's the one he just did.
You guys did the video of that.
Yeah. So the
That's
rest
tight.
of my, like, dude, he did this. He did this. He's done my hands. He did this. He did this panther. Like, I don't have anything on me that you would look at and be like, I guess I do have this, is it on this arm? Yeah, this thing. That's black and gray. This weird, whatever that is. I don't even know that's a piston and a bone, I think. I don't know, dude. I have so many dumb tattoos that I can't remember them all. But that's the only, like, I don't have anything that somebody would look at and be like, oh, Harold did that. But
I got you. Yeah,
Harold's
like
done
steez,
most of my tattoos,
Mm-hmm.
And it's just weird. It's definitely a weird thing to know that there's like, like you definitely have a style of your own that's like your artwork, you know what I mean? But you also just do
I'll do them
whatever.
Them names, them
it's like
feathers.
So crazy when people like hearing you talk when we were talking like a week ago about how, you guys do a lot of walk-ins at the shop you're out now, and that like it's but you're heavy on, you have a clientele. You've grown a clientele through through your scene of people because you're like, you were the only guy around, right? Like, and when you're the only guy that does that, people call you to get tattooed, know? But how you're like, oh yeah, I'll just hang out today, and if something comes in, I'll do that.
Yeah.
See what's going on.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that like, I see so many shops now where it's like
appointment only.
Yeah, and you can't even like go inside.
Books
right?
closed. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, the books closed. That is like, that's unheard of in my industry. Like, oh, the books are closed. No, bitch, the books, they're always open. It might just be a year before we can get to you.
It might be a minute, yeah.
But it ain't never, we don't never close them. And I often wonder, and I'd like to know what you think about this. Do you think that's mostly like sometimes, like what percentage of times is that somebody that don't have shit going on? And they're using that, like, how many people are DMing them off of that and then being like, oh, man, okay, well, I'll fit you in. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, is that just like a steez? Is that just like a hustle,
Probably. I don't know. It just depends on how hard they want to work, too, dude, Maybe somebody wants to do one tattoo a day. And then that's all they do. And then their books are closed because they have one appointment every day for a year.
Right, but I never hear it's never a year. Like, these people are like, I'm booked up for the next 2 months, and that's all I'm doing right now. And it's like, well, why wouldn't you
keep it going?
Yeah,
or do more. Do 4 tattoos, a day.
Yeah, and like, I think, I told you that Harold told me he does 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon.
That's perfect.
And then if something comes in between, he might mess around if he's real. Like, dude, he's fast, though, too, right?
Dude, he's been tattooing, like, forever, though. When
so
you've been
fast,
tattooing
dude.
that long, you're like, cool, I can just do that.
Yeah.
I'll let other people do it.
Well, because then you're getting to that point where they're paying you for, like anything. You're not paying me for how much time it takes. You're paying me for my knowledge and my skill,
Right. Like, sometimes, though, you can do some stuff that's really fast, and it's like, I can't really charge you $200 for that, but you should, but
I got no shame in my game, baby. Like,
yeah,
I know how fast I work compared to most people in my industry, so it's like,
yeah,
I'm just like,
high demand right now.
I mean, dude, I used to paint gas tanks for like $200 when I first started. I would laugh at that if somebody was like, "I got $200." I'm like, "Okay, you can get like all sanded or something."
Yeah, I'll prep it for
like,
you.
I wouldn't even prime it, dog. That wouldn't even cover that at this point. But,
Yeah,
like
$50 tat. Yeah, when you first start, you know. What I
Yeah.
mean? It's a little cheaper, but the prices,
they go up.
I'm not a hog, I just want what I'm worth,
Right. No, definitely. And I think you deserve it. You always have rad shit. I really like your little secret squirrel logo.
Oh yeah, with all the watches.
With the watches in his thing.
Yeah.
So you did your apprenticeship. How long did you stay at Timeless?
Oh, it's a Timeless. After my apprenticeship, probably like a year, maybe 2 years, and then that place shut down.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere. So we all had to kind of go
like
our separate ways.
One of those bad drama things?
The owner died, and then, nobody was steering the ship, so the ship just kind of went crazy for a while.
Yeah.
And then when it was time to reel it back in,
it was too far.
Yeah.
Too far gone.
Yeah, it was a party shop, dude.
Did he get killed up north? Is that
No, he didn't get murdered. No.
Okay. That was a different guy. There was some tattoo shop guy that got
in the
years
car
ago. Yeah, in like a BMW up at the Zona Rosa or something, right?
Black Card Collective, I believe is what
Maybe
shop
that was
called.
that guy.
I don't know his name, but yeah, I remember that. That was crazy.
What happened to the owner of Timeless? Just passed away?
He just died in his sleep kind of thing.
Yeah. That happens.
And then he had a dog, Diego. That dog kind of stayed with the shop, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we just had a little annoying
Inherited a
chihuahua.
dog, yeah.
And I had to take care of it, because I was the youngest one. And the apprentice kind of thing,
How long after he passed did the shop stay going?
Probably a couple years.
Oh, dang. So it was that long. So you were an apprentice when he...
Yeah, so I was like fired, you know what I mean? Because like, whatever, something happened. And then he, got word he died. And then I came back, to help. And then they're like, all right, cool, you're tattooing now. This is what's happening, Roman kind of took the lead. And then it was a wrap.
And then where did Roman go after that? Didn't he have his own shop?
No, where did he go? He went somewhere with... What's it called? Bob Bittner's shop.
Okay. Dude,
I think.
There are so many tattoo shops now that like... Dude, there was a time where there was like 3. When I got my first tattoo, there was like 3 tattoo shops.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 4. And then it's like... Now there's like so many I can't keep up. Like it's like...
I don't even know who half of these people are now.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. All the time, like, people will say something to me, and I'll be like, oh, they're like, oh, bro, who did your tattoo? And I'm like, Harold. And they're like, oh, I know Harold. And I'll ask Harold. Harold will be like, I don't know who the fuck that guy is. I'm like, yeah, I didn't assume
that
you
happens
did.
a lot, dude.
Yeah. There are a couple other younger guys. Josh Schweiston. You probably know Josh. He's young. He kind of burnt out. Getting back into it now.
Maybe if I saw him.
Did a little crash.
We all do it.
Yeah, everybody goes through it. We've all been there. And now you're at John Monk's shop.
I'm at Revelation. That's like one of those old shops that's been around since like forever,
Yeah, because it was another... Did John take over somebody else's shop at one
I don't know that whole history. I'm still learning it.
But I think he like owned A1. Like that. Yeah.
And then like he went to Kingpin, and then after that Revelation.
Yeah.
It was called something Cats. Is what it was before Revelation at that location. Crazy Cats or Wild Cats or something.
I think it was maybe Crazy Cats.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds like a North Oak Traffic Way tattoo shop. Yeah, back in the day, it was Aftershock. That Mike guy, Big Mike.
And
he's
Northland?
In like no. He
just
in the Metro.
Yeah,
he was over off Metcalf then. Aftershock too, and that's where he was at. I got a tattoo by him right here. that was like, this was my first tattoo, and then this was my second tattoo.
Dude, yeah, I remember being like 15,
Like, this is some
16.
straight
and
90s shit, dude. Like,
Yeah.
that's a greaser skull with chrome pistons. And
some
it was like
smoke.
some straight up, like, clean rock one style
Oh,
shit.
yeah, like new school shit.
Yeah. And then Freaks was around back then.
Yeah, they had
Freaks
a few.
They had a few. And then I guess Grimm's was around.
They've been around a while.
Yeah.
And then, Mercy Seat's an old one. It's been around. Exile.
Exile was around. Mercy Seat had not started yet.
Yeah.
think.
Exile's.
Exile.
I don't know my whole tattoo trading card
I don't
history. I'm
either.
still trying to figure it all out.
You never will. I'm just like, I'm talking about when I was 18.
Yeah,
know
you
what I
gotta
mean?
talk
So
to
you
the
would have
old
been.
heads.
Yeah, you would have been. Just, you didn't hear about tattoo shops like you do
Not
now.
yet.
Now there's fucking Windhorse and Steel Panther and Working Class and Mikey and them have that shop in Westport, and like everyone
Time
that ever
Walker.
worked for Harold, almost all of them.
Oh, Irizumi was an old one too.
Irizumi was that old one.
Yeah, everybody kind of that's what happened. Like everybody split, opened their own shops, then they got apprentices.
Yeah, they
and
like
then
got
those
to a point.
apprentices opened their own. Shop.
Yeah.
I think I don't know.
Or just people that had like, you reach that point where it's like, okay, and I think that's what it was with like Mikey. It's like, oh, there's no hard feelings. Like, they're still homies.
Yeah, I've just.
But it's just like
up.
the only way for me to reach the next level is to go have my own place. That's the only way to level up more. You know what I mean? But then sometimes you see that guy, like, there's a couple of old timers I see, and you see them just cranking them, dude, and you're like, oh, this dude's just making dough, dude. Like, he's just out here, like, don't care. Because I know Harold came up, I think it may be Freaks. I can't remember what he told me. Freaks, but like in the hood, dude.
Oh,
like
on
Harold,
Troost?
Yeah. Like Harold started tattooing and then immediately went from like the middle of nowhere, Western Kansas, to like the hood, tattooing only black people. That would be a culture shock.
I've heard. Oh yeah, from
all
all
what
whites,
I mean? Crazy tweaker town white boys to just
prostitutes and shootouts down the
yeah,
block.
yeah. And back then, Truce was a wild place. It's not so wild now, but that was a wild. You had to be a wild boy to be out there.
Yeah, I've heard some funny stories about just mishaps and stuff over in
Yeah.
that neighborhood. My buddy worked over there for a little while.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then like Dennis that works with you, he's been around tattooing forever.
Mm-hmm.
John's been around forever. You know what I mean?
Dude, they've been tattooing as long as I've been alive, like longer.
Yeah, and I've known them. Well, John at least. I met John back when I was at the Zara bar.
Holy shit.
So long time ago, he used to come up. They would come up to shows. Him and they would just always pull up on their bikes out front. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So quite a long time. And then Harold knows him real well. And when they had that TV show, my buddy Slim that I was in the punk rods with, he's always been really good friends with John.
He got a cameo.
Yeah, they were in the show. Like, I think Slim got tased, and then like Harold played like this car thief that turns snitch in
what?
it. Like, yeah, because Harold always had this joke where he'd tell me like, "I'm not a rat. I'm not a tattoo artist. I just play one on TV." And so the minute that came out, it's like, "Oh, I'm not a snitch. I just play one on TV, man."
Yeah.
It's pretty good. But it's a thing. They're well, we've talked about it before. People there's always reputation or like things that people say, and then you like meet people and you're like, yeah, I don't know, man. It seems like if some of this stuff was true, somebody might,
Oh man, yeah.
there might be it might be a different story. You know what I mean? So I think you can only judge people off of your experience with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of people that would tell you like, "Oh, Tyler, he's a fucking
same
piece of
like,
shit."
You know what he did? You won't believe what he
But
did.
you're like, these guys suck, man. There's probably people watching this right now like, I fucking hate these dudes.
Those fucking guys.
Back 15 years ago, Tyler freaking robbed me, dude. Sorry. Man. Sorry. You're also a really big car guy, which furthers my thing that I don't think you can be an artist at all and not be into vehicles. It's like a weird thing, you know what I mean? In some way. And like, I usually ask people like, I mean, what got you into cars? I guess that'd be the question. Because as long as I've known you, that's how I really know you, though. Too is from all of us. Like back in the day, we all had everybody. That's what we did out there. Everybody,
the old Hondas.
I had, dude, the CRX, baby. I miss that car every day, dog. I don't miss any car as much as I miss that '88 CRX, dude. That I
just
had.
Fun little.
Dude, and it was the biggest. There was nothing fancy about it. It didn't have any interior. It didn't have a heater, but it was just, you know what I mean?
It was like, black, right?
It was dark blue.
Dark blue.
It had a black hood because me and Ricky Ledgerwood, a bunch of people that I can't even remember. Scotty.
Oh man.
Like, we put Ram Air on it. I had MSD ignition on it. I did that motor swap. It was a crazy car. It was a cool car.
We have a race car.
Yeah, it was my little race car. I had these. I've told it before. I had this dude we knew, Stookie. They like ripped off an Aerospeed truck or something, so I would always get parts from him. I had like drag radials on my Honda.
Oh shit!
Dude, yeah, dude. Honda, dude. Import drags 2002 champion.
Oh shit!
Bracket racing champion. Shout out, Scandalous Inc. sponsored.
Hey.
Tokyo. What was that? New Image Auto Salon or?
I don't know.
They were rough. There's like a couple Honda shops back then that were pretty tight. But yeah, that's where we were at when I met you, was doing Hondas. But what got you?
Me into cars, just growing up, dude. My family always had cool cars. My dad always had like Chevy trucks. My grandparents, one grandpa had a Monte Carlo, box Chevy. My mom always had like cool Cadillacs.
Yeah.
And then my dad, like when he was 20, built that Harley. So I've always been around like cars and motorcycles and dirt bikes and go-karts.
Do you? Because that El Camino was in the field forever.
Oh my god!
So it's like no surprise
that was my
you
first
later.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I crashed that into that tractor. Remember that old Ford tractor?
That thing sat there forever.
Dude, remember like they sold the land. I went over there to see if that El Camino was still over the field and it was gone. I was like, where the fuck did that go?
Some redneck we know probably just went out there and doinked it.
I guess it was somebody from the Waffle House my mom knew and they were asking about it. She's like, it's back there. You can just go get it if you want it. Because I went back there looking for parts for my El Camino. And then it was like, oh, damn, the whole thing's gone.
We should have just drug that thing out of there back in the day, dude.
Oh, I know. All it was just like the hood and the fender. It could have been saved.
Do you still have your El Camino now?
I still got it, yeah.
Yeah. And what year is it?
87.
87.
Yeah.
And you got the Caddy.
94 Fleetwood.
94 Fleetwood on switches.
Yep.
Lay it out.
8 batteries, 2 pumps for now.
Put in by
Rob, my big cousin.
Big cousin Rob.
That's who really got me into like the lowriders.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always liked cars, but then I saw, the lowrider bikes, and I was like, yo, those are sick, Right. I had to get one. My cousin got me like a box full of parts, and me and my dad built us a lowrider bike,
Right.
My dad used to paint all my cousins' bikes for him. Back in the day, he'd come over, hang out, just paint them, and then he'd have a sweet paint job, My dad did him.
Because Rob's always been into, I know that was like what they did,
Mm-hmm.
As where we were like, we kind of started, it's weird because we really started off out in Bonner, like everybody was like trying to go fast. But there's like little subsets, you know what I mean? But the cats I rolled with, we were trying to go fast. Now, going fast in 1999 was a whole lot different than going fast in 2023.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
You get
you
1,000
know,
horsepower now.
Hachinsky, like, look at what Jake's still going fast.
Oh,
You know
I
what
know.
I mean?
He's going super fast.
And that's, a lot of them turned into weird, like, gun nuts. Like, Scotty and Ricky are both, like, gun dudes
I
now.
haven't seen any of them dudes.
I just see them on the
time.
internet. I haven't seen them in person in I don't know how many years. But so many of those cats that we've, I have like 4 or 5 friends from like street racing in the 90s that we're still tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then beyond that, like the rest of them, it's just I've sort of watched from. I'm pretty good at like watching from afar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm sort of.
We're still friends after
Yeah.
all these years.
Yeah. And that's what I was getting ready to say is that like there's a few people that like you know what I mean? Like Randy and Dan and a few cats from Bonner and a few cats from that car scene is a bigger picture. And then sometimes I sit and I'm like, oh man, maybe I should hit up so and so. Then it's like, if you really stop and think about it, you're like, if
If
we
I
saw
see him
eye to
out-
eye, if I see him out, I'll say hi. But if we
Yeah.
saw eye to eye, we probably never would have stopped hanging out. So it's that time where I'm like, yeah, let's just not. I don't need
Right.
to do that. But I seen Ed Samick one night. You remember
I'll
that
see
guy?
him every once
I
in a
seen
while.
him at Manor Records Fest.
Oh,
And then he
nice.
called Alex Silvers on the phone.
That's one of my people I still talk
Yeah,
to
yeah,
this
yeah.
day. Our daughters like kind of grew up together like a week and some days apart.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, him and his brother, like, I always hung around them when we were running around acting wild back in our teenage years.
Yeah, the freaking Alex, he had that turboed Honda, that
Yeah.
old hatchback. That was the first turbo kind of fast car I've ever rode in, and I was like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah. Well, and then that was also music, because they both,
Oh, yeah, the-
Ryan
the
was big
slap.
into music. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, playing music, playing in bands and stuff.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yeah. Bottom of the Lake, you remember
Bottom
that
of the
band?
lake, yeah.
Shout out Scotty, Alex, and Derek Babcock.
Steven.
Steven, yeah, Derek's his
Who
little
else?
brother.
There was somebody else that was
I didn't
there.
know them.
That kid Sean, because Sean played in one of my bands for a while. What
Maybe
was
a guy
Sean's
named
last-
Mark, too? Wasn't there a guy named
Yeah,
Mark?
there was a guy named Mark. Mark was like the weird, like they were all like emo
The
kids.
swoopy hair guy.
Swoopy hair guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't about that. Me,
I
you,
just brought
Rusty.
the bu-
Yeah, we
Rusty,
just
my boy Rusty.
Oh, Rusty.
Yeah, we just buzzed
Rusty's
our
one
heads.
of the ones that like definitely like punk rocker. But
Hardcore
now I'm in the
dude,
military. It's like, oh fuck, dude, what are you doing? You weren't listening to those lyrics very well that we were listening to. Rusty did good for himself though.
I miss that guy.
Yeah, I think once you like,
Everybody went into the army though. Like almost
A bunch of
everybody in
those
our
cats.
little friend
Yeah.
group did.
yeah, except for us.
I didn't.
I didn't either.
I don't.
I'm
thought about
I'm a
it, but I
veteran of
never
the war
would've
on
did it.
drugs. I fought for the rebellion. You're welcome. You're welcome, Missouri. Because of me, you can buy weed in the store now
Yeah. And drink it.
and drink it
And eat it.
and eat it. Do whatever you want with it. Only because people like me were out here breaking the laws and fighting the man.
Spreading love.
I always tell people like, "Oh, I'm a veteran," and they're like, "Oh, really? Of what?" I was like, "The war on drugs," and they just look at me like I'm crazy. So I was telling the cops that I know, like, yeah, I fought for the other side, man. And it's just like, dude, you're messed up, dude.
I was the op.
I was the op, dude. The opposition. So you got the caddy in the El Camino. You had a fucking Mustang. You sold it.
Yeah.
Outsold your cousin Rob. Sick burn, Rob. Couldn't sell your Mustang. Clint came in, sells his in a day.
It was about a week.
Yeah, it was about a week. You did pretty good on the Mustang,
I
though.
did. I do kind of miss it sometimes, but I came out ahead and I was in a pinch, so I had to let it go. I bought a bunch of cars ever since like COVID happened.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
dude. You've had
and a couple
so
bikes.
Many, yeah. You had that chopper that you got from my neighbor, Ryan
Sold
Hood.
that, yep.
Sold that. Who has that now?
It was some yuppie white guy.
Yeah, it's
in
probably still
Brookside that
around.
bought it.
Then you still got the Dyna, don't you?
It's
Or you got an
FXR.
FXR. That's right, you got an FXR
Bought that from Dennis.
from Dennis. Yeah,
Slowly working on that thing.
yeah. The FXR is,
It's the coolest thing I bought this year, you know?
dude. They're the, in my opinion, best factory Harley Davidson is the FXR.
I think a bunch of people say that.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. I would love to have Dennis's.
His chopper one?
Yeah, I'd love to have that thing. I really like that bike. It's so cool. When he put it up for sale like a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I just couldn't make it happen. You know what I mean? It's one of
Yeah.
those things I tried, but it's like, you know.
Yeah, it looks cool rolling. You know what I mean? And just sitting there.
Oh, dude, and it's just a cool bike. It's just done right.
Yeah, we're trying to do the Born Free. Come here, go all the way to L.A. next year. We're just gonna get a group of us, get our bikes all roadworthy for that, and
Oh, that'd be cool.
yeah, I've never done anything like that
Right
before.
across the
Like
country.
yeah, I haven't rid past like Lawrence, you know. So
Oh, no shit.
long
Oh,
haul.
yeah. You'll like that.
Start.
I used to ride
training.
that purple bike. I've ridden it pretty far. Not like that far, but I've ridden it like far enough to where you'd be like, "Oh shit! Like what is going on here? Like I'm hurting." That's why that
Yeah, like
hardtail,
you're
dude,
like I'm sore.
dude, I can't do it. Uncle Jerry was telling me like, "Oh, I'm gonna build you a frame, dude. We'll get you another bike. I'm gonna get you a bike." I'm like, "I'm good, dude. Like my back's so fucked up that like I already need a back surgery. Like
I need a bagger. Is what
yeah,
I
I'm
need.
cool. Like I'm really, to be honest with you, dude. I've always wanted a lowrider,
Dude, they're awesome.
and so like I've been asking your cousin about ones that pop up, but uh, you remember I used to have that wagon, that Caprice wagon, and I sold it.
The bubble
That
body
the
one.
bubble body one, and then I had that silver one after that, that sedan. And like one of those popped up on switches, so it'd be like similar to your Cadillac, but the Caprice. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But man, I don't know, dude.
That one tint dude has a.
Yeah, he has one. That guy from Lawrence.
It's like black with the silver
Black,
pattern
it's got
on
like
it.
yeah, it's got those real real primitive like lowrider graphic paint job. It's a cool car.
That's all I want on mine.
yeah,
It's
just
just a little silver
real
leaf,
primitive.
little thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that dude, that single pump hop,
yeah,
he got I think higher than me a little bit. I
Yeah.
froze at that, dude. I messed up. My
It's-
little switch box kept moving. I couldn't hit my lick.
it's all right.
But yeah,
He did it.
Joe won.
Yeah, Joe won. Shout out Joe, Twin
Yeah.
Cities, the boys.
yeah, those dudes made that dream come true, dude. Build me a lowrider.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you're part of the club. You're in a club.
Yep.
What's the name
It's
of the club?
Cool Whips.
Cool Whips with a K,
Yeah.
not to be mistaken for Cool Whip. I do like that. That's the little logo. It has like almost like the Cool Whip lettering.
It
You know
is.
what I mean?
It's a neat one.
Yeah.
Did you
That's
see the
pretty neat.
Kool-Aid one I made? It was like the Kool-Aid
I
man.
did.
I made it say Cool Whips and it was blue.
Yeah, no, that is really cool. How many guys are in your?
I don't know. Like I'm like the youngest guy in it. I don't
There's
know
quite
everybody.
a few guys, but they actually get out and like go cruise.
I do a lot of solo riding, but it's
No,
like,
I'm saying like they will like on like
Oh,
first
yeah.
Fridays.
oh yeah, we'll
they,
be out mobbing.
Yeah. They make it a point to like get everybody meet up
yeah. Rob's
we-
always there,
and we drive together. Go through. Your cousin is at every car show, no matter if anybody else is there or not. Because I'm at every car show and we always see each other.
right.
I see him more than I see. We all always talk about that. It's like there'll be times where we'll see each other. We can see each other from he'll be in the Pac-Man and I'll be in the Lochnar. And he's like, I seen you coming from a mile away, dog. It's like, yeah, because we're the only two assholes out here in 200-degree weather driving our cars in the middle of July.
Right.
You know what I mean? On a Tuesday afternoon. Cooking. The van be cooking, dude.
Oh, I know.
When it gets hot, the van cooks.
That car show you had was really cool, man. It
Yeah,
was hot
thanks.
though. But
It was a little warm. There was a
yeah.
nice breeze. That's a nice thing about being down there. At least there's a breeze, you know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
that was a good spot.
Yeah. I'm gonna do oh shit. I'm gonna do another show in the spring. And then so I'll do one in the spring, one in the fall. Both of them. Well, I guess it's into summer, fall-ish.
Into summer,
Into
bash
summer,
jam
bash
thing.
jam. But I'm gonna do that, like start it off and end it. You know what I mean?
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So I think Nico and I were talking about calling the one in the springtime the Awakening. And we're gonna do
Ooh.
like you know,
Some magic shit.
like melting ice off the letters. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
So
that's
it's like
cool.
the spring thaw. You know, we thought that'd be cool. But
Bring
no,
'em
I
out of
was stoked on it.
hibernation.
Yeah, I was stoked on the turnout. I set out to like. It would be great if I could make it just like self-sustained financially to where I'm trying to figure out how to make that happen because I don't want to charge like I don't
Sponsors, right?
right. I don't want to. If I could get to a point where I don't have to charge at all, that would be tight. But like all of the money, the $5 I was charging people to register their vehicle, all of that went into like paying for flyers and shit. In which that didn't even cover all of it. You know what I mean? But I was okay with it because I only do that kind of stuff for our culture. You know what I
For
mean?
the love of it.
Right. I don't care about. I'm not gonna exploit. Like I'm just not about that shit, dude. Like I just that ain't my steez, dude. Like
No.
I'm not gonna exploit my culture or my people, and if that means I go through life being a broke bastard, then that's what it means. But like I'm just not gonna exploit. I don't feel like I need to do that. Like I want it to be a thing where it's not for spectators. You're more than welcome to come spectate.
Yeah, you just can't get up in here.
But it's not for that. It's for that's why there's no like entry fee at the gate. Like feel free to come hang out, but understand that this is for car people doing car people shit. You know what I mean? Like it's not World of Wheels. You know what I mean? It has similar guidelines that like, bring whatever, but it's not World of Wheels. That's a thing where like, yes, that's what I consider exploitative. You know what I mean? That's commercial.
Right. It's just the homies. You know what I mean? If you're local and you're doing the thing, you're going to be there.
But also, it's a thing where it's like you can show up, right?
Right.
And then you'll meet someone like my buddy Eric that you might not know, which obviously you already know Eric, but just as an example, like,
right.
I want to get it to a point where like I can get Rob and Joe and the other guys in your club to come, you know what I mean? And I can be like, yo, you guys need to meet Larry
all these different
here.
Flavors, you know what I mean?
This guy Larry over here, you would love him, you know what I mean? And that's just the thing. Like, it used to be like back in the day, everybody went to everything. You know what I mean? It didn't matter what specific cars you were into. Were you into bikes? Were you into cars? It didn't matter. You went to everything, dude. And like, I've talked to your cousin Rob about this before, where it's like, it got to a point where like everything is so like
clicked.
Kind of like I call it like the record store curse is like how I antiquate it. To where it's like back in the day there was country western, jazz, R&B, maybe you had hip hop,
reggae.
Maybe that was world music.
Okay.
And then you had pop rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now there's metal. Now there's punk. Now there's new wave. Now there is like you go to some of these record stores, dude, and they'll have 700 different genres of music, and you're sitting there going, well, which one? Do you have to every time you're looking for something, you got to ask somebody like, hey, what do you designate this as?
Right.
Because it used to just be under rock and roll or
I'm
rhythm
not just
and
trying
blues.
to dig
like
all
hip-hop,
day here.
R&B, all like R&B stands for rhythm and blues, right?
Yeah.
So that included all the rhythm, all the blues,
right,
for all time. You know what I mean? But now car scenes are like that. It's like we only do traditional customs, and that's what we do. Oh, this is for pre-war cars only.
Yeah, no big wheel cars.
No big wheel cars. Who gives a shit, dude? Like, this one's only for lowriders. This one is only for this. And it's like, I'm not about that. Did I know that, like, that Fourth Fridays thing is pretty cool? Mm-hmm. But I've had several people, myself included, where we got told, the exact words were, oh, we're all filled up. And it's like, not really.
Yeah. They didn't let me in one time.
Yeah, you and I had talked about this before. Where it's the same thing where it's like, What are we doing here, guys?
I'm in a lowrider. You gotta let me
Yeah.
in here, right?
Yeah, like what's the deal? Like what are you hating on me for?
Maybe I was too late. I don't know.
I don't know. We talked about that too. How
Yeah.
how can I be too late to a public parking lot that never
Yeah.
closes? Like everybody's got to be out of here by 10. Like
it's a
dude, we
private
literally
party.
people are in that parking lot right now. We could go down there right now and there's a group of kids down there like we used to be in Bonner.
Revving their
Hanging
hundred,
out, revving their engines, burning out, doing donuts, probably drinking beers.
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I
probably
mean?
breaking something.
Doing the same stuff we were doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just do it there under that bridge. That's why that entire parking lot is just donut marks. You know what I mean? It's pretty crazy. But that's why I do all that stuff. Is I want everybody to like. If you're into cars, just be into cars.
Yeah. Just throw some wheels on your car and cruise. You know what I mean? Or
just
don't.
do whatever you want to do. But like, if you're into cars, just be cool with all cars. Like, you don't have to like. So many times I've been to things with people, and they'll just like it's ragging on something, ragging on something, ragging on something. You know what I mean? Constantly. Look at this thing. Oh, I hate that. Oh,
I would have did it this way.
To where I just like, dude, you would think like
you don't like the art. You can't appreciate.
Do you
something for
number
what
one?
it
Do you
is.
like cars? Number two, you would think that maybe you could focus on the one thing. Is there even a thing here you like? If not, why don't you leave? Like,
Where's your car?
where's your car at? Like, that's my favorite, dude.
He probably drives like a.
Oh, it's when the people
Prius.
go to like there's like always somebody that's around. It's like, does this person even have like I was asking somebody the other day because there's someone that's like a photographer, but they only use their iPhone, right? And I'm like, can you technically consider
I don't
yourself
think
a
it's-
photographer if you're only using a cell phone? But also, it's like, do you even have a car? Like, how are you this big in the car scene? You don't even have a car.
There's
like,
a thing in like it's like the t-shirts. Like you just wear the t-shirt. You don't have a car.
Yeah. There's like a weird thing.
Co-
Like, I could understand going to car shows and you appreciate that, right? And that's a thing. Like, that's cool. But, like, it's just weird to, like, involve yourself so deep into a culture. And it's like, but are you ever going to. It'd be like if you went to all motorcycle events, but you never bought a motorcycle.
Yes.
Like, you never even rode one at all. Like, you never even rode a bike. Like, I couldn't imagine.
Bro, that's like a tattooer with no tattoos doing tattoos. I met one before.
Oh, I've seen a
He
couple.
always wore like hoodies and pants, and then it slipped out of him one day. He's like, "Yeah, I don't have any tattoos," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
So I kind of was just like, I just didn't talk to him.
Yeah,
after
that's
that.
a weird one, right?
Yeah, it's hard to. You can't do something like that to somebody and not have it.
It seems that way.
Some people get real spiritual about it. You know what I mean? It is crazy. Like, you're tattooing somebody. You're marking them forever. They got to trust you a little bit.
Yeah, I gotta feel like I need to feel a bond like you've been through this pain before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what I'm going through right now, dude.
Yeah,
You're putting me through it.
Why do you think somebody does that? Is it just a job to them?
That's the thing. A lot of them, it is. People, it's like a hobby or they want to pick it up on the side. And it's like, you can't just be half foot in this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's a life. I mean, it's a lifestyle. You know what I mean? You live
Yeah.
a certain way. And, I don't know, I gave up a lot of my years to get in this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm not just going to give it to you easy. Like if you were an apprentice or, you know what I mean? Like some people are just amazing and it's crazy. You know what I mean? They're self-taught or they got a job and progress themselves up. But there's people just scratching, never getting better. Some people call it a tattitude.
A
It's like
tattitude?
tattitude. Yeah, you think you're cooler than you are. Like,
Oh,
you think
yeah.
you're better than everybody and you think like, and you suck.
A
But
tattitude.
nobody's gonna, tell you otherwise. Yeah, tattitude.
That's pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there's certain things like, right? Like I mean, dude, when I first got in the body shop game, I had like a pompadour. Remember when I had my pompadour?
Oh yeah.
And there's this dude, Stanley Sampson. Every day he called me Elvis. And at 8 o'clock, we started at like 7:30. By 8 o'clock, Stanley would be coming by with this coffee. Elvis, you faggot! What are you doing today? And like every day, that's what that dude said. Shit like that.
That was your
to me,
greeting.
like, every day. But man, when shit went bad down there, that was the first dude that had my back, right? Like, not to say it was right, he's just from a different time. But like now, like I definitely, that's not how I don't.
You can't say that.
Well, I don't say things like that to people, anyways. Like I just know, like, oh, that doesn't really work. You know what I mean? Like you can do the rest of the stuff, like the messing with you, like the old trick was like they'd hand you a rattle cane, like, "Well, shake this up until the freaking ball stops rattling,
Yeah.
and then it's good to paint." And like I did that to a guy one time. He came back hours later, bro. I was like, "Dude, it's just I've been shaking." I was like,
Oh
"You've been
God.
shaking this can for hours, dude?"
Oh,
what the hell,
you were dumb.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you're like, maybe you should do something else.
Right, yeah, it's weeding out the
Tattitude, though.
Yeah, I had one of those for a little while, and they put me in my place real quick. So.
Oh yeah, but yeah, you just had that in general. It didn't have anything to do about tattoo work. You were that way when we were kids. We all were.
It was cool though.
We grew up in a place where there was like 3 punk rockers. You know what I mean?
Right.
And everybody else was like an emo kid. It was really weird. Like
then there was like the Zeppelin kids too.
Yeah, we grew up in a weird place, dude. It was a
different.
weird. People always go, "Oh, you grew up in that nice place." It's like,
It was.
I don't know if that's how I describe it. I don't know,
Yeah.
nice place. It
wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like. I mean, a lot of us were poor. Like it's not like there weren't a whole lot of us that hung out together. It's like our family's got money. Like
that's the Lake of the Forest kids.
Right. Which they were all cool though. There's really like. There's a few shitbirds, I'm guessing, you know what I mean? But like, it was just a weird place, dude.
It was
like
different.
The things I know about that town now as an adult, and like the things they hid from us, you know what I mean? Like we all thought there had only been that one murder in the '80s, and then you come to find out, like, oh, there's some buck wild things going on in Bonner Springs.
I didn't know
back
about
then.
any of them.
Yeah, dude. You know that the entire police force from when we were kids were like super corrupt. They got indicted by the federal government years ago, and they all retired.
No shit.
Yeah, dude. There's some wild things about Bonner Springs.
You just
dude.
ran it through Bonner, huh?
Just ran it through, baby. I mean, they used to let us illegally street race down there by them cold storage caves.
Dude, you remember Moon Marble?
Yeah, still there.
I don't know.
Oh, Bruce is still
my
there,
God.
baby. Bruce is still down there making marbles.
I remember like that was like the first graffiti I ever did was the back of Moon Marble.
That's sick.
Me and Tony Kyle. I don't know if I should say a full name on this, but
Tony Kyle.
we did it. Dub FB.
Whatever happened to Tony Kyle, dude?
Oh, he's in Hawaii. He comes to
Nice.
town every once in a while. I seem to always miss him when he comes, but
Yeah. Tony Kyle. Yep. I still see Richard McComb, old Dick. Dick's still around. I run into him. I seen him at Fourth Fridays a couple months ago.
yeah,
He
I
still
don't know
runs
if I
around
get
with-
along with everybody like that because my little brother and shit. So
Yeah.
it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, I get it.
I know the guy.
Yeah.
He has a cool truck.
Yeah. Oh, Dick's super chill now.
Yeah.
He hangs out with Jake all the time. Jake bought his childhood house a few years ago.
Yeah. He told me that when I saw him.
So he's up there, and him and his wife Anastasia, he's got the shop that we all came up in, like doing cars, because his
Not
dad
the Piper house.
Huh?
Not the Piper house.
No, the one in Bonner. Like
I don't
up
think I ever
behind-
went to that
Oh,
house.
okay, that's where it all started. Like his dad, that's where Jake grew up at, right up there. Like where the Walmart is. There's that not that housing development right behind the old Walmart, but like that next road. It's down that on the way to the swimming pool down there in Bonner.
Oh, okay.
It's on
That
road.
side. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of where Tony No Legs was.
Right. The entrance to that place, the house right there on the left as you entered that neighborhood was where Jake grew up at.
Oh, okay.
So he still lives there.
That's
But
awesome.
dude, like Jake's dad and uncle are the ones that got me into working on cars when we were kids, and then later on, really his uncle is like one of like the major influences. Jake's dad and uncle are two of the biggest influences I probably have had in my life about building cars.
Okay.
Like they never like, dude, it didn't matter what I did. Like if I needed help, Tim would help me, Scott would help me. Like no matter how bad I got, like through all those troubled years, like no matter how down and out I was, like dude, Scott always found a way to like not just give me money, but he would figure out a way for me. Like I had a skill, so he would, you know what I mean? He would put me to work. You know what I mean? But dude, yeah, that's how I found out about Wyotech with Scott. He found that school and was like, I think you should go here. Tim taught me how to weld. Like,
oh shit!
They taught me how. We built that Jake's Nova.
Dude, their shop was amazing. The Piper one. That's the
Tim still lives there. He's still there. He's got a paint booth now. They've been doing crazy.
I think they had a paint booth there last time.
Yeah, it's been there. He built it in there, but him and Scott have been doing like
it's like the one-stop shop there.
Yeah, back to like painting race cars and stuff and doing all kinds of shit. I need to holler at them and go see them actually.
Yeah, I remember his dad had that two-door Blazer that was all slammed out and was a 5-speed. That thing was tight.
Yep, and then that OG Blazer his dad had like the Heartbeat of America thing on it that they had all done up. That was in the garage. That was my old Blazer. Me and Jake bought that for like pennies, dude, from some juggalo out in Olathe that had the Hatchet Man sticker on the back.
Shit, that's crazy.
It was wild, yeah.
I still haven't done a Hatchet Man tattoo. I think that'd be cool to do one day.
Oh, dude, how have you not? Dude, we grew up in like literal juggalo territory.
I might have did one when I worked in Independence. I just don't remember. Dude. Or I just didn't take a picture, so it didn't happen, you know?
I dated so many juggalettes.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they make you paint your face up?
Oh, never would do that, dude. I would never lose my conviction.
Did they?
No, they were.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure at some point they did, not around me. You know what I mean? Like
just
I never
for the
seen
gathering.
them. Like they're just like. I mean, do they have juggalo tattoos? For sure, dude. Like for sure.
In Bonner?
Yeah.
Huh. I'm trying.
And out of
there
Bonner,
was that little group of juggalos.
Little?
Like I guess it was like a lunch table at the cafeteria.
I think there's a lot of closet juggalos. I think some of them have come out of the closet since then. But dude, they loved ICP and Bonner. They loved 3 things: Slipknot, ICP, and Pantera. That was like
combo.
Yeah, that was the combo. That was the winning combination down at the Edwardsville Trailer Park.
Oh shit,
man,
Edwardsville.
That's Again, it's just
the villains.
The Edwards villains. Yeah. It's just a weird place to grow up, dude.
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything.
For real.
Like,
I don't, like, what would people think? Because I was thinking about it before you came over. We really grew up in kind of like a weird, I guess you would call it, it's not really what you would think of about, like, a suburb would be more like Piper. You know what I mean? Like, Bonner it's like a weird, like, multicultural.
It's Wyandotte, but it's just like a
like a mini version of it. It's like living like where I live now in downtown KCK. It's like living down here, but just a little like with like a little bit more, a little less city and a little more country-ish. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? A little less
seasoning.
But the same kind of people. Like, dude, we had Asian people, we had Hispanic people, we had black people, like there was white people, there was like European people,
Asian people.
There was like
Yeah, they had that exchange student that one year.
Yeah, but even like in town, just in town,
Uh-huh.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't remember growing up being like, "Damn, we're only around all whites this year." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there was all kinds of people, dude. Like,
Mhm.
I and I don't really. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm sure if we went back and looked at the logs, you'd be like, Jesus, there's a lot of white people. But
Oh
like,
yeah, it was
I think it's
probably
also just
majority whites.
determined who you hung out with. You know what
Everybody,
I mean?
I try to
Like,
hang out with everybody.
well, I
you
never
know?
went to a high school party. I never went to I never did any of that stuff, dude. That wasn't for
Dude.
me.
Alyssa Kelly used to throw the most lit parties in high school, dude.
The littest parties, litties.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Oh my
fun
God.
times. Somebody threw a party. Jared Kennedy threw a pretty big party one time and it got broken up.
Yeah.
It was like a show in the basement or
Yeah,
something.
my
like
band
that.
played that. One of
Okay,
my
yeah.
bands played that for sure.
Yeah.
Did one time, not to name names, me and a few other young rascallions, my grandparents got robbed by my sister's boyfriend. He lived in town. And we went and just totaled his Mitsubishi Eclipse. I took a bunch of the young hitters with me.
Had
Dressed
some
them in.
built up rage.
Well,
Or
no,
just
I
somebody
just.
that wanted to do something.
No, they were the homies. So like,
Oh.
dude, me and Jared Kennedy one time we sat on a dope house in the Edwardsville Trailer Park because we got word that my grandparents' stuff was there because the dude traded it for meth, and we waited. And Jared and I went into a dope house as like 16. He
Waited
was like
for him to leave
15,
to go in and
I'm
get
like
it?
18, 17, something like that. We waited till we identified the dope dealer, and we went up there with baseball bats, dude, and like
Jesus.
went into this house together. I was like shitting bricks. I ended up knowing this dude, right? Like he was my parents' age, and I knew this dude. And he was like, I don't have your grandparents' stuff. And it's like, this has my grandpa's name on it right here. Like, this is their anniversary clock, bro. Like, but dude, it was pretty wild. Jared's the homie, dude. Like, I see him from time to time. I haven't talked to him in a while. But
Yeah,
that was my
same.
like little punk rock ride or die guy.
Mhm.
He was awesome. I love Jared.
Yeah.
His brothers, Chris and Ryan, were always cool to me.
I
Even
never
though they
knew
were
that.
older because they were homies with my sister, you know. It was weird. Like those were the only two dudes who were older than me, right? Like imagine if I just came around and like beat the shit out of you guys all the time. Right? Like instead of just like hanging out and being cool like we did and working on cars. Most of my sister's friends would like it was so weird, dude. Like they would try to like beat the shit out of me if I was at like, you know, when I was like 15, I probably went to a party or went to something, right, where we were intermingling with seniors, you know.
Oh.
But they would try to beat the hell out of me.
Try to look cool.
Right. But then it was always that weird thing. But if somebody else tried to do it, they'd be like, "Yo, get in there." And you're like, dude, it got to a point
don't
where
touch
I
him.
just started like sleeping dudes, like choking them out, whatever. Like, just get off of me, bro. Like, I'm bigger than all of you. Like, leave me alone. Why do you have to beat me up? You were just at my house hanging out with me. Like, what are you doing?
You were eating my snack.
Yeah, you guys were just chilling with me. Like, we were cool. Now you want to. What, because we're around all the other kids at school, you got to try to beat me up, dude?
Yeah.
It's weird. Weird times.
Yeah.
Fucking
Childhood's
Bonner.
different. You know what I mean? Looking back now, you're like, man, I did some wild stuff and got away with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude,
And
me
just-
and Randy Edwards. Oh, I guess
I don't
I
know
guess I
that.
shouldn't have put that. The
Bleep-
homeboy. That's
bleep
my
that
oldest.
out.
Randy's my oldest friend, dude. We've been friends since we were in 5th grade. But Randy and I were like, we freaking terrorize. I felt bad about it later on, but we would like terrorize this chick that lived next door to him. We would just be in his yard. She lived like it was like in downtown Bonner. Says like the houses are close. Randy and I'd be like hucking fucking lighting up like mortar shell fireworks and
Oh,
spinning them
shit.
around and like throwing them outside the windows of the houses.
Just
like
rattling.
I don't know how many
everything.
times me and that dude caught the sewer on fire in Bonner with illegal fireworks, dude.
Oh
like
my god.
we were menacing, bro. We'd ride around town on bicycles. Older kids would pick on us. We'd come flying by on our bikes. We just park them and we start shooting bottle rockets at them. Randy's dad used to get us all these illegal fireworks. We were like in
Nice.
8th grade. We had a lot of fun, dude.
Got you boys something.
Got you. Yeah. Oh, dude. Forever. He was like, "I'm going to Iowa. I'll see you guys in a week. I'm going to work." And he'd be like, "Okay." And then he'd come back. We'd go like fishing. He'd always bring us dude, we'd have these wild fireworks. They look like parachutes,
Mm-hmm.
and it would shoot out, right? And it would shoot up in the air, and it was just this like little green ball, but it was like the loudest, like boom, and you could feel it, like.
Oh,
When
I
it
know which
blew up,
ones
you'd be
you're
like,
talking
"Oh."
about.
So then one day, me and Randy were like, I wonder what happens if we shot this down the road. So he lived like up on Clark, and we would shoot them down the street because it was a hill.
They'd
and it went
skip
to
a
flat.
little bit?
It would skip. That's how we'd catch the ditch. They would end up flying into the sewer,
Oh shit! Then
into
boom.
the drainage ditch, and just catch all the leaves on fire, dude. And we'd be like, oh shit, we gotta get out.
At least
Dude,
it's
we used to make
contained.
dry ice bombs, and
We
Randy's-
did that.
God.
Me and Tony Kyle, we did that.
Oh my god, we were shitheads,
Bleep.
dude. Randy's sister had a Dodge Dynasty that she got from their mom, like a
Mhm.
4-door, like a late 80s. And like Randy would get in the trunk of the car, right? And we'd be driving, and I'd be inside the car, and I would like signal him, and he would know to like, he would like get in the trunk, but he would leave the trunk unlatched and hold it. So we'd find some kid riding his bike home from school, ready to throw up in the deck lid and be like, ah! Or like we'd have a water gun or something, just terrorizing the kids we went to school with, dude. We were menaces. Like, and most of the time it was like to our other friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
The ones
it
our
was just
age. You know
all
what
good,
I mean?
clean fun.
Oh, yeah, just good,
Kinda.
clean fun. Just roasting each other.
Shooting fireworks at each other too.
Dude, shooting fireworks at each other. Like,
That's childhood at where we grew up, I guess. You know.
yeah, I was like to say, I'm sure that you probably were doing the same shit down here.
Everybody's probably got a similar.
It's
story
probably a
close
similar
to
thing. Like young punk rockers, like zero shits given.
That. Just not caring. Yeah.
Just not caring. Maybe you don't have the best time going on at home, so you like go paint a dick on the high school. Like that's what we used to do. We just put dicks there. Dude, we vandalized Baser High School one time, like
Oh,
the football
my
field, and we
God.
put the biggest dick. Randy and I painted the biggest dick in the end zone, like the week our football team was playing them. We got busted, dude. It ended
In
up
the middle of the act.
Yeah, the cops showed up, but like we were trying to get away. It was a whole thing. Randy went and started like. At that time, we were too young to know, like, just pull through the grass, and we're in, like, this 95 Ford Taurus.
Mhm.
Randy's making a 200-point turnaround. Because we don't know, you know what I
Killing
mean?
time, like,
yeah. And we got busted, and it was me, Randy, and two other guys. Adam Armbrust, who was, Matt Osmus. That was the other kid
I
that
don't
was
know
with
any of
us.
them guys.
But we got busted, and, like, it ended, all said and done, dude, probably, like, the most fun I ever had for $146. We all ended up paying $146, but everyone
and
we got
fines?
suspended from school for 3 days. I already had a job, so I just went and worked for like 3 days. You know what I mean? I got into a little bit of trouble, but all in all, we like threw some eggs at the scoreboard. You know what I mean? Because what happened?
It was always like that.
Dude,
with
but
that
what
school.
happened was they came to the high school and they vandalized all of our cars, like in the middle of the day. A bunch of kids from Baser came, they fucked with all of our cars. So we were like, oh yeah, why did you mess with my car? I don't even give a shit about football. But we
Yeah.
painted the biggest dick on their football field. They cut the grass, dude, to try to get rid of it, and all it did was make the penis perfect. Like it took like the fucked up parts of it from the grass, and they trimmed it, and it just looked perfect. And everyone told us about just like, dude, you could just see this giant dick on the 50-yard line,
my
or wherever
God.
we put it. We put it somewhere. I can't remember if it was the end zone or the 50-yard line.
What
But we
color
got
was
busted.
it?
Like I remember this one kid started crying. We're like, yo, quit being dude. We drew a dick on a football field. Like, don't worry. This cop is just fucking with us. Like, he's
They
not.
got nothing better to do.
No, but also he's like, you guys are gonna like, okay, whatever, bud.
You're
Don't
gonna
care.
pay for what.
Yeah,
you did.
cool. $146. Here you go. That's what it ended up costing us. It was no big deal.
A piece.
A piece.
Nice.
But that was nothing to me. Me and Adam
had a
both had
paycheck.
jobs.
Yeah.
Adam worked at O'Reilly's. I worked at this deli. I worked at Harry's Corner. So it's just like, yeah, here's the 140, bro. Cool. Like,
Yeah.
now what? What are we doing next week, guys? What are we going? Piper? You guys want to go Piper? And
Oh my God.
we were just juvenile delinquents, dude.
Oh.
Listening to punk rock and hip hop. Listening to DMX, getting lit,
Oh, dude.
getting
Up
litty
in
up.
here.
Yeah, it was up in here.
Oh man, Piper though. I remember one time like there was like a big fight, like our school versus their school, and I missed it. I didn't make it, but I just heard about it one time.
Oh, dude, I would like casually go to those things we would go and like, we didn't drink a lot. And then those that started happening like kind of like as we were seniors. And then in between the time of me being like a senior in high school and being 21, because, when you're a senior, you become friends with freshmen, right? Like, and that's like the case with you and I, right? Like there's some years between us, but we remain friends, you know what I mean? And it was never like, you know, once you got to being like 21, you know what I mean? Like you didn't hang out anymore because then you're just a creepy guy hanging out with a bunch of
feeding
kids.
these minors booze.
Booze, right? That's because then that's all anybody wanted you for was to buy them booze. But like, we would casually just go get like a 12-pack of Pabst and go watch all those giant. They'd be in like Wyandotte County Park or like on some road. You'd hear about it. You'd be like, "Hey, you guys want to go watch all these people beat the hell out of each other?" Be like, yeah. And then you'd be there just drinking beer. Be like, "Oh, what? I'm just here to watch. I don't like any of you. Like, I'm just here to watch the idiots at play." But those were pretty wild, dude. It was like really weird.
Dude, I remember this dude like started getting his legs like smashed in a car door. Like he was in the car and the dude just started slamming the door
Man.
on his legs. That was one of our friends we know.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw there's some brutal things that happened. A lot of people needed to get the rage out. A lot of like, I think that was it. Like, I don't think a lot of people were growing up with like super tight family lives that we knew because a lot of them were definitely trying to like, they were getting in fights or doing wild shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was a weird. That's what made Bonner so weird, dude. Like, there was kids I remember watching their dad beat the shit out of them as they were getting on the school bus every day.
Oh my god!
And you're like, what the hell, man? Like, and nowadays that wouldn't fly, but back then, like, nobody said,
Yeah,
that's just Larry.
That kid's just got to deal with it.
Old Rick's just doing what he does, you know, just
drinking again.
Drinking again. It's just crazy, dude. I watch some kids now that I still know some of them. It's like, man,
you okay?
Like, well, like back then, it was like hard to like watch that. You know what I mean? Watch a kid get on the bus every day, fucking trying to fight back the tears with bruises on his face. You're like, gee, many Christmas, dude. Somebody do something about this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nowadays, like,
just step in right away.
Yeah, we come from the corporal punishment era. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yo, you did wrong, you got your ass beat by somebody. You know what I mean? Your parents' friends might whoop your ass if you did something they didn't like. You know what I mean? That's crazy, dude. Like, that's some crazy shit to think about. Like, yo, it was acceptable for someone that isn't your parent to like physically assault you if you quote unquote did the wrong thing.
Acted out.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah, some kid hit my kid the other day and it drove me. I didn't know where to put this anger. I was like, all right, dude, this kid's parent deserves one from me. You know what I mean? But kids are kids, I guess. Well, then
my kid on the false side, on the opposite side of that, my kid turned into Conor McGregor the other day and decided to, she's the aggressor. Decided to get all crazy. It's like, man, where'd you learn this? We don't go around kneeing people in the head.
Oh my god, she saw that on TV.
Oh yeah, all of it, dude.
Yeah,
like, that's definitely some of it.
1, 2, knee, elbow.
But again, that's just it, man. When you're young and you don't know how to, somebody pokes at you, pokes at you, pokes at you, pokes at you, pokes at you.
Oh, you're gonna pop.
You're gonna pop. It's just how it is. So, of course, you're pissed off, but then it's
everybody learned
again.
A lesson,
like we talked to you and I talked about this the other day. You get mad, and then you just kind of have to go, well, like just don't do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Like otherwise, we have to like,
You might have to be on probation or something.
Take an anger class. This now we're at the age where it's
take time out of me.
Right. Let's try not to get felonies while we're teenagers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be great. Well, we're about an hour deep here. We're trying to limit these episodes for you people because that's what we do. What's your Instagram, Clint?
Clean Tea. CLEENTEA.
Clean Tea. If you're around, if you holler at the boy, go give Clint a follow. If you want to get tatted, just hit him up on the Instagram. Hit him up on the gram.
That's the best way to book with me is Instagram.
Yeah.
Unless you got my number. But.
Unless you got the, and that's only for the ladies and for the close homies.
Yeah.
But yeah, go follow Clint. Follow the channel. Follow my Instagram, Black Magic TV. Subscribe. It's free. And Clint will be on again. He'll be in some more shit. I'm gonna start doing some car exposés, so maybe we'll do one on Clint's Cadillac. It's pretty cool.
That'd be fun.
We'll do a nice little video on that. But dude, thanks. I'm
glad you came over. This is a blast. I've never done this before. It was easy.
Yeah, it's just bullshit. It's just shooting the shit, talking about whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool. Like you are someone that like I've known for probably
10 plus years.
More than that, dude. Because I'll be 40 this year, dog. We were teenagers.
Yeah, I was probably like 14 when I met you.
Yeah,
13
so
or 14.
I've known you for 20 years.
Oh, shit. I'm not good at math, I guess.
Yeah, I'll be 40, dog.
Oh, man.
Because how old are you right now?
33.
Right. Yeah, I've known you 20 years.
Gnarly. That's
yeah.
Cool.
Because I'm 7 years older than you.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it would have been Scotty and Rusty.
Oh my gosh, those guys.
And then everybody would be at your house, and Rusty had that.
It was like a Buick, right?
That Buick.
That thing was sweet,
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it did go down at the house a lot. I missed that place. Had the little mini ramp on it.
Because then it was like, oh, I'm just right around the corner, and everyone's like, what? And I'm like, I live right around the corner. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, something was always different there. I remember. Like this one dude came by or whatever, and he's like, I just saw your dad and little brother with a chainsaw cutting up a fucking deer just right there. He's like, am I at the right place?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, they just went hunting and got a little deer, dude. They're cleaning it.
Yeah, that's what we do out here.
Yeah.
Well, fuck yeah. Thanks, dog.
Dude, thanks for having me, buddy.
Good to see you. We'll catch you all next time.
Yeah, that was fun.
Like and subscribe.